Brett Richter here at the CPTC facility in Beausejour, Manitoba, chatting with a lot of the drivers that are up here this weekend, really chasing a dream and getting ready to run the opening race for the 24-25 Ice Oval season. And I'm very happy to be spending a few minutes with Pro Champ driver Hunter Sears, driving the number 15. How's it going?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you bet. Glad you're up here and glad you're chatting for a minute. So, you ready?
Yeah, we're ready. We're excited for this season. Got a lot of big changes, so we're all ready to get out there and implement everything that we've done.
You had a big off season. Big news. It's before it was really you and Dad and a little bit of help in the trailer, right? Yep. And you were going champ racing and having a good time. And this year, all of a sudden, the dominoes fell in a different direction. What happened?
Yeah. So basically, long story short, it's kind of at least for me, it was kind of always like my dream to race for a team. I think a lot of drivers can kind of relate to that. And it was just my dad and my brother would come with, get some help from my uncle and stuff here and there. And, we just always tried our best to be as professional as we could, always act the right way, always perform in the right way. And just, my dad would always say, you never know who's watching, you never know what can happen. And, he always taught us that growing up, and just doing what we did seemed to, fall into the eyes of some people. And, Stephen Haugen and, with him picking us up, it's been great.
That's fantastic. Is Dad still involved?
Yeah, so Dad is he is the mechanic for my sled.
Okay.
He's built the entire thing. He's back there right now making changes and stuff to it, never stopping. So yeah, he is still completely wrenching on it.
Okay, and you now have a teammate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, teammate Calvin Cook and the whole Cook family. We've known them for probably 7 years now. So we were already really good friends before even being on a team together. So it made that transition super smooth.
So will your sled look different?
Yeah. So this year we have a whole new scheme compared to the sleds that they had last year. Previously we were all black. The sleds will have the blue. Kind of went after the XLT, just took out some of the purple and made it black.
Nice.
So yeah, they'll be looking different.
Yeah. How much experience have you and Calvin had so far? Are you working as a team? Are you talking? Are you comparing notes? Are you off-season training? Any of that type of stuff?
Yeah. So off-season training, the training's been very intensive. Steve has a background in bodybuilding and everything, so we got a workout plan. He would come down every time a new workout plan would come out. He'd drive 5 hours down to the cities, work out with both of us, run us through it. He gave us meal plans, everything, checked in, sent us grocery lists, all that to make sure that we were training and getting ready for the season. And then once everything rolled around, we've been in constant communication. And like with the cooks, we're like when we were testing yesterday, we're sharing everything and in each other's trailers. Hey, what's working? What's not working? What have you done? What have you done? So it's a total team effort, and it's taken two crews, putting them together into one mind.
I would imagine that 95% of what you're experiencing is positive. There's got to be 5% of something that's maybe not quite the favorite when you go from this environment. Before it was just you could do what you wanted, right? So now you've got somebody else, not pulling strings, but providing influence and stuff. Is there any part of that that's a little difficult?
I wouldn't say difficult. There's just things that are different. Going from being, my dad and I, brother, sometimes uncle, very small crew, to going to, now being on a team and you're in a big setting. There's a lot more people. So it's just more, the biggest thing is like organization. Like in our trailer, we were all set up. Now in this one, we don't know where everything is. So like organization, I'd say would be the biggest thing, which we're working on. But it's really been smooth, a really, really smooth transition.
That's fantastic. It's a huge step. It could be career changing for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When you leave the track this weekend, what makes this weekend successful for you?
Yeah, so obviously anytime the studs hit the ice, we're going out chasing first place. That's our goal. That's what we're going for. And obviously there's a lot of things that fall into that. Mm-hmm. That's good heat races, that's good, finals, everything like that. Just making the show. So goal is to win, always is, but successful is just, getting the sled going, making sure everything's good and just being competitive and improving every time we hit the track.
Is Hunter Sears the same person on the track that I'm talking to right now, or is there a switch that goes off and on somewhere?
There's a switch.
There is?
Yeah, there's a switch. Basically, by the time the helmet goes on and stuff, I don't like to talk to people, like not in a bad way, but I kind of get into the zone, if that's what you want to say. I'm quiet, kind of get the not deer eyes, but I'll stare a lot, and yeah, I switch into it kind of a different mode.
So I asked one of the other racers this question earlier, and I think it's kind of intriguing. If you're in a race, let's assume it's a 15-lap final, and you're 7 or 8 laps in, and somebody hits the bales, and you get an 8 or 10-minute break while they're fixing the bales, does that switch go off? Do you have to turn it back on, or can you stay in race mode that long, or what happens to you in that time frame?
Yeah, for me, I stay totally in the zone, and like that, my dad raced back in the day, and that's how he was too. So like he'll come up to me and be like, "You okay? You good? Everything?" Yup, and then he'll just walk away, because that once you get into that zone, at least for me, I stay in it. And if people are trying to talk to me and stuff, I mean, there's times I won't even like respond. Make sure everything's okay, all that. But yeah, I stay in it.
When does it turn off?
Checkered flag.
Right at the checkered flag.
Checkered flag. Once you come back around, take the checkered flag, come around the corners. That's kind of when it's like, take the deep breath and, it's done with.
Yeah. I've actually, just as a side note, I've walked by some of these drivers when they're standing in the paddock line waiting to get out on the ice, and it's a different personality than I often see from this perspective. So it's interesting that they can share that with you to help you get a better understanding of when race mode hits. So I've seen you sometimes, maybe it's a fist bump, maybe it's not. Sometimes it's just eye contact, but I try to be respectful of that, because I kind of know that's where you're going. So speaking of putting the helmet on, look at that lid. Is that a new one for this year?
Yeah, it's a new helmet. That's Climb's newest version that came out. So I believe it's their F5 carbon. It's about twice the time lighter than the one I was running last year.
Wow.
So super light, and all the padding's different in it. It's supposed to be more protective, have all the, like concussion stuff in it. So, I mean, really fantastic gear that they put out.
Yeah, fantastic. I don't want to see it with any hay on it.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's not the intent. It was interesting. I was talking to Joe Schneider. I don't know if you know Joe. He runs an Outlaw. He's using tear-offs.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
He said they're now sealed so they don't get foggy or anything. And so we had a brief discussion about whether tear-offs were appropriate in any other form of snowmobile racing. He's sitting there with a steering wheel and stuff in a different dirt car, and he's grown up with them. But made me wonder, because, snow dust and obviously hands off and all that type of stuff is, it's tear-offs possibly something in the future, but a whole nother discussion for a different day. So you've got a new team, you've got some new sponsors. Let's share them. Let's talk about them and give them a little bit of hype. Yeah,
so first of all, obviously, is Team PDF, everyone involved. Steven, his wife Dion, Mark back at the farm, Steph, Kylie, everyone who does all the PR, getting T-shirts. So Team PDF, and then the Haugen Family Farms, everyone that's involved with that. We got Climb, who does all of our gear, fantastic stuff. Stubboy Traction, who have been absolutely great to work with. CHS, DeKalb, then Walbros, Polaris Racing, Fastenal, and Northern Crankshaft. And huge thank you to all those guys.
Yeah, it's a great list. It's wonderful to have people behind you and businesses and corporations behind you letting you pursue your passion and your dream.
Yeah, well, without them, we don't make it to the track every weekend. So it's something that, we really value working with, those businesses, corporations, and what they do for us goes a long way, and we appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, fantastic. We're going to wrap this up with the FXR Fast 10. You ready?
I'm ready.
So you get sports and racquetball or tennis?
Racquetball.
If you had to be taken to a class, would you prefer a dance class or a cooking class?
I'm gonna go cooking.
Chess or checkers?
Chess.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Rather ride a mountain bike or a road bike?
Road bike.
Flea market or a mall?
Mall.
NASCAR or NHRA?
NASCAR.
Canoe or a kayak?
Canoe.
Paintball or ultimate frisbee?
Paintball.
Reese's or Snickers?
Reese's.
All day, every day. Best of luck. Be safe.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Love to see you out there for the final. There's some stiff competition. We were talking earlier. I think the lower part of the pack is starting to catch up to the top. I don't think the top's pulling away anymore. So you got a spot. Just got to go grab it.
Absolutely.
Okay. Best of luck. Be safe.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Hunter.
you.
That's Hunter Sears, driver of the number 15 Pro Champ.